Hey folks in Untamed TV land, it is me, your host Craig Bielick, here with a very special guest today, a man that we call John Sticks Platten. And we're going to find out why we call him Sticks and a whole lot more about him. This is an interesting guy, and I think you're going to enjoy this story. Thanks for tuning in. John, let's just jump into it. I want you to, first off, tell me where you were born, a little bit about yourself. Give me a little bit of backstory before we get to the story.
Absolutely. I am from Washington, D.C. area. I'm in Alexandria, Virginia, born and raised. Moved out to California to start an acting career and got sent to southern Utah to film a movie and been in Utah ever since.
Is that right?
Right.
Okay. So you've touched on a couple of things about your career. First off, you are indeed, you're looking at a movie star. You guys may not know it, you may not recognize him, but 37 major motion pictures. One of the highlights was Dumb and Dumber. I'm sure all of you have seen that movie. And you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, I was in modeling first, and then I got sent to L.A. To start an acting career. And when I was in L.A., they actually sent me to St. George to film a movie with Robert Mitchum.
Oh, yeah.
It was called A Killer in the Family.
Wow.
And since then, I've been in, like you said, 37 major motion pictures, television series, national local commercials, radio and broadcasting for a number of years in southern Utah as well.
Right. You guys probably have heard his voice by now. You've seen this. You probably have heard it a million places in voiceovers and everything, but he's got a great voice, doesn't he?
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So after that, so you came to St. George, you lived in Utah, you established yourself a career, you got married?
Correct. Yep, I'm married. My wife Leslie, and I have a 16-year-old daughter, Shaylee Emma. So,
right.
The love of my life, and two daughters, Aubrey and Elon, as well.
Great. And you got yourself a legit career besides acting.
Absolutely. Yep, I do accounting for a major retailer, and I also officiate high school basketball, AAU, USSA, and several other leagues.
All of that. Things were going great.
Yes, things are going extremely well.
And then,
unbeknownst to me, I got cancer, and I was into bodybuilding for a long time, reached a max of 226.8 pounds. Several years I started losing some weight. I thought, wow, this is odd. I'm not losing it intentionally.
yeah.
And then, here I am, 56 years old, thinking I'm in the prime of my life. I'm physically healthy. There's nobody physically healthier than I was. So I thought. And then I started having some health issues. And my wife says, you probably ought to go get a colonoscopy. And I thought, why?
You had skipped the screening. But
Yes.
It's always recommended for people 50 years and older. But you were like, not me.
Not me.
I'm healthy.
Yep, I'm good to go. I feel extremely well. And so she said, no, we better take you in.
Yeah.
And so I went in, had a physical. They suggested, you need to go get a colonoscopy. You're past due. So I went in, had a colonoscopy. They couldn't complete the colonoscopy because the tumor was so large that they just had to stop.
Oh, yeah, that's a bad sign.
Not good. Yeah, especially
yeah.
What's even worse is when you wake up from that anesthetics and you look over and your wife is bawling her eyes out.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign either.
No, sir.
So you know
no,
something's
sir.
wrong.
Yeah, something's gone wrong here.
Yep. And so a week later they called and told me that it was cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just say this to whoever's listening to us today, that if you're 50 or over, please, if you haven't had a colonoscopy, please go get one right away. And if you have a family history of cancer, male or female, please go get a colonoscopy or get checked for cancer. It could save your life.
You absolutely must. And people make a lot of jokes about it, and people are like, oh, it's so horrible and all that kind of stuff. It's not. It's not. And listen to this guy. Listen to your story right here. You need to do it.
Yes, absolutely. Bless the people and doctors at Ogden Regional, because they took such great care of me. I had the best there was.
Right.
And because when I went in for the surgery for the low anterior resection, we didn't know it. And unfortunately, I have a very high pain tolerance. And so we didn't know that there was an infected mass right above the tumor. And so Dr. Foley, my surgeon, said they about had to just close me up and leave it. It was so bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? And surgery's not all you went through?
No, I went through 28 days of radiation, 43 straight days of chemo, where you wear the bag and the pump,
Right.
24 straight, And after 3 surgeries, I had an ileostomy for 7 weeks.
Okay.
And then I
Might
had
have to explain that.
Yeah, the
to
ileostomy.
to our readers. To our listeners. Not to me. I certainly know what that is.
Right. An ileostomy, for those who don't know what an ileostomy is where they take and put a bag outside so you can use the restroom outside
okay.
the bag, in the bag. And so after 7 weeks of that, they did a takedown, which is they reversed that process. And so that was a 3rd surgery. And then after that, I had 8 more sessions of oxaliplatin chemo.
Wow.
So that's 3 hours in the chair with the getting pumped into your port.
Yeah.
And then right after that, they hook you back up to the bag and the pump, and you wear that for 3 more days afterwards.
Wow. Tough.
Yeah, tough. But, I tried to stay as physically active as I possibly could during that whole process. Even right after surgery and the chemo and radiation, I was still playing basketball. And my buddies would let me come in and play. We'd play 6-on-6. The 5 would play the 5, and I would run up and down the court with the 1 person. So they just kind of let me exercise as much as I could. I'd dribble the ball when I felt like it. I'd pass to whoever. Didn't matter if I was on the same team, but they let me play.
It was staying active.
Yes, exactly. And that was one thing that really pushed me through.
Right.
Helped me because I was so physically active before. I tried to stay as mentally positive as I possibly could during the whole process.
You can tell. I mean, you just seemed like the kind of guy that was going to tough it out and make the best out of it. And which brings us to the 3rd part of our story.
Okay.
I mean, the first part was your back history. The second part was your journey through cancer. And now the reason for this wonderful backdrop right here, the reason for this backdrop is you're going to do something to celebrate it. And I'll let you explain it.
Absolutely. I was actually selected as the Cancer Survivor Ambassador for Radiating Hope. Dr. Fisher was on, I believe, last week and talked about the Radiating Hope organization. And they selected me through a process to travel with them to Mount Everest.
Yeah.
So we'll go to Kathmandu, and then we're going to donate 4 cancer radiation machines to the Nepal Cancer Center. And then from there, we'll fly to Lukla, and then we'll make it, me and with the group, we'll make it to base camp,
right.
And then we'll go to the base of the ice falls, and then we'll turn around, spend the night in base camp, and then we'll trek back down. It's about a 3-week process.
Right. Dr. Fisher is going on. He's going to go to the summit.
Absolutely. Yep. Dr. Fisher and a couple others will go to the summit. We are taking over 2,000 Tibetan prayer flags.
Wow.
That will represent the thousands of cancer patients and survivors who have gone. You can go on to Radiating Hope and donate a flag to others if you'd like. And we'll be more than happy to take that flag with us, and it will be placed at the top of Mount Everest, and there it will stay.
With someone's name on it.
Absolutely.
If folks out there, if you know someone that is fighting cancer, or you'd like to dedicate a flag to someone who perhaps lost their battle with cancer, this is the way to do it. You can go to radiatinghope.com. .org. Excuse me. Thanks, John. And fill that out and make that work. Here's going to be the hard part, John. Okay. So what does this mean to you? What does it mean to go to Everest?
It was never really on my bucket list, if you will. But, it's an amazing opportunity to show that just because you have cancer or you've had cancer isn't the end of your life. There are many wonderful things that you can still accomplish, be it Mount Everest, be it your own Mount Everest, wherever that may be, or whatever that may be. You can still fight, and you can live, and you can conquer certain things.
Undoubtedly, there is someone out there watching us at this moment that is fighting cancer, or has a loved one fighting cancer. What do you want to say to them?
Never ever give up. You always have someone to live for, and fight the battle, win the battle, and fight for your loved ones. You have a tremendous support group. There are a lot of sites out there. Talk to us. We're here to help you and get you through it. And again, Ogden Regional, what an amazing staff. The nurses were just angels to me, and they just made sure they took care of me. Dr. Fisher with the radiation, Dr. Gray, my oncologist, and Dr. Foley, what an amazing surgeon. I had the best help there was.
That's good. Great advice from John Sticks Platten. You didn't explain why you're Sticks.
Oh yeah, Sticks. I've been playing drums since I was 6 years old. For about 52 years, I've been a
Really?
percussionist.
Yeah.
And that was my radio name in southern Utah, the John Sticks Platten Shift, or they call it the Sticks Shift.
Stick shift. Oh, I
Yeah,
got it.
there you go.
Got it.
And
Yeah.
so I've had that moniker ever since I was about 12 years old.
Wow. Amazing story. We thank you. And, you know, since you are Sticks Platten and you're a drummer, I also play drums. I wouldn't call myself a drummer, but I am a drummer. I thought we'd say goodnight to people, finish out this show tonight with a drum solo.
Oh, there
are,
you go.
Are you up for it?
Are you
up
there you
for
go.
it?
Yep.
Okay.
What do you want to play?
Traditional grip, match grip? Which
I
way
do
are you?
traditional. I'm left-handed,
All right.
so I'm opposite.
I don't know anything official, so I'll just kind of keep this is your show. I'll just kind of keep the beat, and you just knock it out of the park. Is that okay?
There we go.
You guys, thanks for joining us on Untamed TV with John Sticks Platten. Don't forget to visit radiatinghope.org, not .net like Craig did, and take it away. John, you ready?
Yay! We're out.
Untamed TV. Untamed.